Well, good morning. Happy Friday to all of you at Incarnate Word. This is Father Schneier and Father Schrader doing another edition of Bother the Father, just two of us.
This starting to feel like fall.
It is starting to feel like fall. Feels really, really good. Mm-hmm. I love quarter zip and jacket weather. It's my jams. So it's nice to not be like just super hot. Mm-hmm. It was a warm September. Like a really warm
and
September.
August too.
Yeah. So.
Well, and speaking of warm, I had the harvest mass last weekend. It was very beautiful as always. Most of the grapes have already been taken, but it was warm, but nice. So we had I'd say about 30, 35 people, and so very much thanks to the owners who hosted us and put together such a nice morning. So that was great.
That's a wonderful, wonderful thing to do, and support local businesses.
And with our readings, it's been vineyard after vineyard.
Yeah, we're getting another vineyard reading this weekend. I mean, it's very
Stay tuned.
Apropos. Stay tuned. Were you beaten by the tenants at the vineyard?
Not at this time.
Not at this time?
I'm worried about going back. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What if I go? Will they see me as
the
son?
Say, this is the
beat
son.
Me?
Yeah.
Little preview of later.
Yeah.
Campus cleanup is tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 12 noon tomorrow, Saturday, October 7th. Just a wonderful opportunity to help beautify our parish. You can sign up online to help weed, mulch, and trim the campus gardens. All ages are welcome. It's a great way to get service hours if you're in need of any service hours, if you're a high schooler or in grade school, if in need of any of that. But also just a wonderful opportunity to help make our parish grounds look good.
Yeah, it'll be good weather once again, so kind of just enjoyable. So if you can make it, we always appreciate the help. Yeah. And then we also have the date night on Saturday. After the 5 p.m. Mass, there's still plenty of room for couples that want to just sort of on a whim join us on the back lot. So we really hope if you're free and don't have anything to do, come join us for date night.
Yeah, should be good. And then we also have a new prayer group that's been starting up here at the parish called Companions of Lost and Found Sheep. It's a prayer group for folks meeting the first Saturday of the month following Mass at 8:30. And it's a prayer group for those who are praying for friends and family who have maybe left the faith or who don't practice the faith anymore. It's an opportunity for them to pray, especially through the intercession of St. Monica and Christ the Good Shepherd, that they would come home. It's just a wonderful opportunity. Again, all of us have family and friends who don't practice the faith. I think I once said we probably know more Catholics, each of us know more Catholics who don't go to Mass than those who do. Mm-hmm. And so this is an opportunity for us to pray and unite ourselves in solidarity with Christ, the Good Shepherd, and help try to bring those lost sheep back to the fold.
Absolutely. And that's all of these things we've told you are all tomorrow on Saturday.
Yeah, big weekend.
And then,
big weekend.
Next week we have the Women's Acts Retreat starting on Thursday evening and running through the morning of the 15th of the Sunday. And there's still room for that retreat, and I just really would encourage any women that are thinking about it, have thought about it, and haven't been able to make it in the past, go ahead and sign up, even if it feels last minute. God will bless any time that you can spend on that retreat.
Yeah. A couple of events with the Knights of Columbus, the Blood Drive and the Tootsie Roll Drive. Mm-hmm. So again, the Tootsie, and I want to be clear, you do not have to donate blood to get a Tootsie Roll. Mm-hmm. Need to stress that. Yeah. It's kind of putting those two events together. But they're hosting a blood drive next Saturday, October 14th from 7:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Lower Church Hall, Bollinger Hall. And then also the Tootsie Roll Drive is this weekend. So you can donate to raise money for those with developmental disabilities. It's wonderful work that our Knights of Columbus do. They take online donations on PayPal, on Venmo and on Square as well. Mm-hmm. So you can see those little flyers. They're kind of lime green. You can scan the QR codes on there and make a donation to our Knights of Columbus. It's a wonderful, wonderful drive that they do every year.
Yeah. And related to the date night, but separate, we have small groups which will be forming marriage enrichment groups in parishioners' homes. They're just 4 to 6 couples. Those will be starting this week, and you can sign up online or contact Don and Kelly Mitchell or call the parish office. We'll help get you partnered up with a group. And everyone that's done these groups, we've had I think now about 70 couples in all the different groups participate in one way or the other, and it's just led to some really beautiful friendships and connections, which are really neat. So once again, if you're available or just would love to meet a few new couples and grow in your love for your spouse, this is a really natural, fun way to do that.
Yeah. We've also got Rosary Day coming up on Friday, October 13th, kind of right around the time of Our Lady of the Rosary. We'll have a daily rosary prayed in the church every hour. What's the range?
I think it starts at 8 a.m. and goes till 7 p.m.
Yeah, 8 till 7. So 12 12 different hours on the hour in the church praying the rosary. And some of our school kids will be joining in throughout the day as well. Just a wonderful way for us to offer up this Marian month to Our Lady. And yeah, just to pray the rosary.
And that starts on the top of each hour. So if you're passing by or you have a little time and it's like, hey, it's almost 1 o'clock.
Pop by and pray the rosary.
Pray the rosary. And of all the prayers, this is something whenever Mary appears to throughout the ages, it's always pray the rosary, and great and powerful things have been given through the praying of the rosary. So that's what we're doing, praying for our country, praying for our parish, praying for our world and our church.
Yeah. Some baptisms. We want to congratulate Josephine Marie Randazzo, daughter of Gianfaro and Robin, and Gabriel James Poole, son of Joseph and Catherine. Congratulations to them. We've also got, I want to mention this too, it's not on our notes, but I want to mention this. One of our grade school teachers is getting married this weekend, Emily Rogers, a wonderful teacher for our 5th graders. She's actually getting married to a good friend of mine who I was in seminary with, so I'll get to be at that wedding. But congratulations in advance to Patrick Hannigan and Emily Rogers on their marriage tomorrow.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a wonderful thing. And we also want to pray for the repose of the soul of Shirley Resnikoff, mother of Rick Resnikoff, and Laverne Timmy, mother of Lori Malvern. So yeah, I'm going to pray for them, for the comfort and consolation of their families. All right,
weekend.
Readings this weekend.
Yeah, I have like 6 homilies, and they're all on the gospel.
Right.
First reading. So I was like, I'm going to preach about the second reading.
So now for something completely different.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that just because we've had a lot of vineyards, and it's also a challenge to me to not just kind of keep going back to the same thing. But so it's sort of crystallizing. But what I'm thinking of doing is starting with sort of funny and famous last words of famous people. And some of them, I was looking up some examples today. We all know St. Lawrence, when he was being roasted alive, he said, turn me over, I'm done on this side. But there's some pretty clever and funny and last words that will stick with you.
Sure.
And I mention that because when St. Paul wrote his letter to the Philippians, he didn't know if these were his last words. He was in chains, kind of like, which one of the Jonas Brothers, you got me in chains for your love?
My sister would know. I feel horrible, Julie. I'm sorry. My sister would know. I don't. I'm glad I don't. But
maybe it's. I don't know if it's Nick or Joe. I don't know. One of them. But St. Paul was in chains.
Joe and Nick at least had stronger solo careers.
He was in chains for love of God, which is not what the song is about. But he was writing what he thought may have been his last words to the community. And what he told him was, don't be anxious. And I just kind of tying that into how much anxiety rules our lives and dominates our thinking and our decision making and kind of really saps our energy. So St. Paul, he was in prison. He didn't know if he was going to be executed. Things did not look good. And yet, even in the midst of this, he was able to say and believe, don't be anxious, give thanks to God, don't worry. So we should learn from his example.
Yeah, that sounds good. I am going to preach on the gospel. But I in prayer this week, I really was drawn to the comparison of this gospel and the fall of Adam and Eve. And the attitude of those tenants and the attitude that Adam and Eve had toward God that led them into sin. And it's so similar. Thinking that what God has given us is insufficient. That's why Adam and Eve took the apple. They thought, well, everything that God has given us, it's great, but it's not enough. It's not enough. It's insufficient, and then it's not for my well-being and happiness. That there's something that God is withholding from me that He doesn't want me to have, because if I had it, He would be threatened by it. And in many ways, that's why Adam and Eve fell. And I think in so many ways, that's those tenets. The reading, it basically says they could live off the land, like they were fine. And yet, especially when they wanted the son, the heir, the inheritance, like they felt that had been withheld from them. And if they had that, then the landowner would be threatened by it. And they saw the landowner as a rival, as we so often see God as a rival too. And so I'm going to just do a little reflection on the comparison of those two things and then apply it to our own lives. Every time that we think that God's plan is not for our happiness, whether that's how we live out a marriage and sexuality and all those things, or seeing just God as a rival to our own autonomy and our own supremacy. I wrote it last night, and I think it'll be good. So that's kind of the area I'm going to take this weekend.
It really is.
It might be more of like a downer. I'm not like saying that, but like this is gonna be like, yeah, oh wow, this is kind of why things are the way they are, and this is pretty common. But I want to at least, obviously say, like, God's whole existence is gift to be given to us, and that's what I'm gonna at least end with. So
I think it's really easy when it's not you to look and see, like, what a waste. When Jesus tells that parable, you look and you say, look at all the things they had, and yet they
it wasn't enough.
Yeah, it wasn't enough. But then when we're in those moments, you know, when you think of, on any given day, we have the gift of life. Most of us have incredible health and resources. But how often, when we're in the middle of it, lack of gratitude, that we grumble or we go and try to steal more and not give God his due and not give others.
Sure.
So I think that's a good observation and something that we can be blind to in ourselves.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what's coming up this weekend, folks. A lot going on, great things happening. We hope you can join us. Hope you can just be generous with your time. We've talked about stewardship the last couple of weeks, about how we can just pour ourselves out for our parish, and we got a lot of great things happening, opportunities for us to do that. So anyway, hope you have a wonderful day. Enjoy the nice, cool fall weather. I know I certainly am.
Yes.
Anyway, take care.
God
See you
bless.
this weekend. God bless.